said there are three essential regularities in science. There's the existence of the individual scientist, the existence of the community of scientists, the scientific community, and also matter. So, okay, we talked about the individual consciousness. Now, what about community? The existence of the individual subject can't be explained physically. So the correspondence between various individual subjects also can't be explained physically. So then there must be a universal, inconceivable energy that's coordinating all of this. And, as already mentioned, the intersubjective verifiability entails an intersubject, something can actually connect up the various subjects. There's good evidence from the behavior of shoals of fish, flocks of birds, flocks of bats also, that they're guided not just by their individual efforts, because if it was just by the individual efforts, it would be very chaotic. But if you watch films of fish, for example, when they're being chased by dolphins or cormorants or whatever, you see that the whole group moves out of body. It's not at all chaotic. Recently, they've been able to track gigantic shoals of hundreds of millions of fish in the Atlantic, herring. And they found that once large shoals get over a critical density, this chain reaction comes, and it synchronizes the movements of millions of fish together. So what's guiding them? The obvious thing is that there's universal consciousness is managing the whole shoal just as it helps the individual. Another example is with birds. There was one researcher called Edward Sellis. He spent a long time observing birds. He described rooks rising up from a field like a leaping up of black flame. So instantaneous and unanimous was it. It was transfused thought transferent, collective thinking practically. What else could it be? Starlings he described also. He said, how without some process of thought transference so rapid as to amount practically to simultaneous collective thinking are these things to be explained? And then ants, for example. We see that ants cooperate on huge tasks. For example, white ants in a nest. They're blind, deaf, but groups will start on opposite sides and they start building arches and then they'll meet in the middle. So how does it all happen? It's all coordinated by someone or something. So an economical explanation is that there's universal consciousness which acts as a coordinating agency. So it's reasonable to suppose that there is universal consciousness acting as the basis not only of the individual consciousness, but also of collective consciousness or community.